Hey everybody, as you've seen from the title, this is Kenshi Enjoyer gives first impression of Valorborn. As you can see in my game, I haven't gone very far. I just finished the tutorial and then got to the first town and made a little settlement out here. But even just doing the tutorial and getting to this point, I feel like I've identified a lot of things that's enough to warrant this video of my first impressions of what kind of needs to be fixed in order to make the gameplay more smooth. Because if the experience that I have is what everyone goes through, it's going to be hard for people to get into this game to play even more. Because even now, I was playing yesterday, and I got to a point where I was like, I like the world. The world looks really good. And I'm running on worse graphics because I'm also recording. But even now, it still looks pretty good. And I love the medieval landscape. So I will say, like, visually, I enjoy this game. I think it's a really good looking game, and I think like it just really feels like we're immersed in this. So visually, that's a plus. But even then, there were just enough things that made me just go like, I'm kind of like gonna wait to have the devs do more updates. And if they continue to stay committed and continue to make updates, I'll come back to this game. And I just went to go play Kenshi and just basically start a new run. So the first thing I want to go over is the inventory system. I feel like this is really important. I think they really need to fix this first, or one of the first things to fix is if I'm looking at John, right, and I look at his inventory, if I click on Eric, it doesn't change. Now, yes, like, maybe it doesn't have to, but the other gripe is the fact that if I want to pick between Eric or John, I have to just click them. There's not keyboard shortcut to select John or Eric. At least I'm not aware of it. And because 1, 2, 3 essentially controls speed. And so the reason why I find this a bit frustrating is if I want to trade something, I don't really have like a trade like option. So if I want to like transfer something over, I need to run over, I have to right click this and I have to drop it, and then I have to have John pick up these coins, basically, and then come back. And so like that's a lot to manage. And I bring this up because like in these type of games, when you start from nothing and need to build up, you're very limited on things. You're very limited. So like if you have money, you have to choose between, do I buy a sword? Do I buy armor? Do I buy materials that help me build something to make more money? It's like everything you do has purpose. And so with armor, at least the way I play Kenshi, at the beginning in any run, it's like you can't afford to buy good armor for your whole crew. And sometimes you don't need to, because some of the crew, they're just workers. And they just, you just have them near like a town or something, just like let the game's NPCs take care of it. But what happens is I end up having some armor, whether I found it or bought it, that kind of like is a shared armor. That's constantly trading. You know, maybe like I sent one guy out, he got hurt, came back, and you know, now I want to go do something else. Well, he'll put the armor down, someone fresh will pick it up and then go do something. And so just having to manage that, I want to be able to trade stuff really easily. And so right now it seems like trading either just dropping or put it in a crate. But I feel like we should be able to just like right click, trade, and it shows both inventories and I drag and drop it. Another thing that I've found is like Eric, you know, if I go to here, I haven't found like a good way to, and even then he's moving because I'm doing that, but I, you know, alt click, shift click, like control click, like I haven't found an easy way to move stuff over. And I'm already having to use my mouse to like select my people, which again like don't control this inventory, and I'm having to drag these things over and move them and stuff, and it just becomes like really tedious. It's a lot of mouse movement. But I feel like again, if you're managing your crew, like there are times you don't have, you want to, like these milliseconds matter, right? And so you just making it difficult to like manage these people is just, it was really frustrating to like build out this group or build out this settlement. Even like building this out, this is the point I reached, and I was like, Yeah, I think I'm done for now. I'm gonna go to Kenshi. Just me appreciate Kenshi. Again, I'm not asking this game to be Kenshi, but I feel like this whole inventory system, like that's not a, oh, you know, like I don't think it's a big ask. So going to now like automating, right? So I'll click these out. The way you do it is you add work, go to work, gather. Let's just say I need like branch and leaf. This is now another thing that I kind of had issues with. That was confusing. So you have this location, character, radius near. Near and far, it doesn't tell me at all what that is. And why I also find this is important in these management automation things is sometimes you're in areas that are more dangerous. And so if you want, but there's like a good resource. And so you want to collect that resource and bring it back to your settlement and then make something, sell it, or make something, use it. But if I don't know how far my people are going to go, then I have to end up watching them. But then it's like the whole point of automation is like you are able to set it and forget it. And so what I've been using actually is I click the character and I just select the area. And then I assign and then I hit start work. And I don't know, maybe this is split 50-50, but I would prefer if I click the area and I assign it, just start. I don't need to, right, like if I'm here and I click out, I don't, like, and I say gather branches, assign, there have been times that I just do this and I just go do other things. And then I come back and I just see my dude standing here, and it's because I forgot to hit assign work. And then so he's not working. Another thing I noticed is if I just click here to do something, let's say there's like something dangerous and I have him click away. Well, now he's not working anymore. But I don't know that because I don't have like it telling me to start assign work. Now I just learned this before this video that you can click this and it's enable auto work / disable. But I found this by accident, and I had seen this blue, but I didn't know what it was actually. And so now that I know it, oh, if I click through here, okay, now he stops. And because there's no blue anymore, he's not working. If I click this, makes the whole thing blue and he's auto working. I personally would just like this little button just to be like a, it's grayed out now. If I click it, then it lights up and it just tells me whether they're working or not. This whole blue background, I just like, I didn't know what it was, I just see it, but like, it's not telling me what it is. Even this like swing thing, I don't know what that is, but so that's like one thing. Another thing that I feel like makes it kind of difficult is there's a whole gather near or far character, but you don't know what that is. And two, when you do assign work, you have to make sure to click start even after you assign it, and if you click out or have them do any action, it just stops them completely. I kind of feel like you should just have them automatically do stuff, where like it's automation, just have them do stuff, and if you want them to stop, just tell them to stop. Rather than I have to keep coming back to check that it's working. I think we should have it the other way around where it automatically is doing work. Right, and then this other thing that, I think this is the last thing, yeah, that I'm going to cover for this video, is if I click this, it brings it up right, but let me close it now, and it shows him working. Why is this important? It's important, or why is this an issue? It's because like you use these cues to tell you whether they're done or not. Now going back to the whole starting from nothing, you're very limited on resources, you're limited on money, you're limited on food. You have to maximize every minute you have with your people. And so in order to know if they're being maximized or not, you need indicators to know if they're idle or not. I would much like, I don't understand why if I'm clicking here and nothing's being done, why he's showing to do work. He's not doing anything. He's not working. Right? And so they should just be idle so you know when you come back, you're like, oh, hey, like, they're not doing anything. Now, if there's an idle indicator, maybe that could help too, but that, to me, needs to be fixed. It shouldn't show my character doing anything when there's nothing, or if there's nothing to be done. Okay. So, the last thing I want to cover, which I need to get materials to do, is, let me get my other chest. Again, like, I have to move these over. I could automate it, but like, I should still be able to easily move stuff over. Okay. see, how many branches do I have? Okay, let's do this. Let's do twine. So craft. So 37 seconds left. Crafting twine, right? And we see crafting twine. And then what do we see? We see my dude crafting twine. Okay, so from what we just saw, the way we can tell whether this person's done or not is not whether they're moving, which is still jarring to think about, it's whether they show the crafting twine. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish this to show you this last thing that really kind of threw me off. Okay, they're done making the twine. It's still showing crafting twine. So if I was to give this person a ton of stuff and then just assign it, I have to click in to see if they're actually done to know. But then I'm kind of like, then why show me all these things? Right? You're showing me that the person's working. You're showing they're crafting twine. They're not doing either of those things. They're not working and they're not crafting twine. So it's almost like my brain has to see that and be like, what I see is not what actually is happening. I need to now confirm. And so, you know, the inventory is kind of clunky to manage. The automation is a bit confusing or not clear. This here of like the work, it makes it hard to like continue playing, because I feel like I love the aspect of you just start from nothing and you build it out, but it's like the limited resources and the trade-offs you have to make whether you buy food or that's like the thrill, and the thrill of being able to optimize your people to then go from nothing to something, that's exciting. But just playing up to this point, all those things kind of just like broke my immersion and broke my like enthusiasm to keep playing, because I'm like thinking about combat or other things and I just feel like I'm not motivated enough to like tediously go get all these items and build these things out. Like it definitely needs some fixing. But I do want to end with like optimism, saying like yesterday, 12 hours after they released on early access, they released a patch. So the way I see this game is, it has a lot of potential. The world itself is very beautiful, but they definitely need to fix a lot of things. And if they fix those things, like the core gameplay, I think, you know, it can be successful. I personally would have them fix all these things before adding expansion. I can tell there's a lot of things in this game, and probably the reason why I'm not able to go further is because all these things up to now have already been so frustrating, where maybe I focused on like fighting, I would have got loot, and getting more loot would have kept me going, but that's just not my playstyle. I like to build out, I would love to craft items, I love to craft armor, I love to craft weapons. Like I'm the kind of person that's like, I want to craft leather armor and spears, let's say, to go fight the bandits. I don't want to sneak or like try to cheese it a bit. Like I want to just build out, have them all have uniforms, and then go do that stuff. But in that goal, I've run into so many things that I'm kind of like, I'm just not going to play for a bit. Hopefully they fix these things or improve them. But until they do, it's really difficult for me to play. And so, yeah, they really need to kind of do these quality of life changes, and then they can focus on expansion. But the core gameplay, I feel like, is pretty clunky. And so, yeah, that's my first impression.